Okay, Shweta, you can go ahead. So both keep time.
Yes, sir. You can start.
Well, there was this one time when my friend worked with a double filled fish burger and a big cup of ice cold coffee in her hand. She took one bite and threw it in a dustbin. I said, "Why you threw it in a dustbin?" She replied, "It tasted bad." Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is me, Shweta Singh, and today I'm going to tab on a topic about a food crisis. Before a 1 lakh year ago, at least six human species inhabited the earth. Today, there is just one. The present human species knows everything, making from a small thing to developing a higher technology, but don't know one thing, that how to save a food, how to use the food precisely. The Minister of Agriculture, India, reported that a nearly a 50,000 crores worth of food get wasted every year. According to the United Nations Environment Programs, a food wastage index reports 68.7 million tons of food is wasted annually in India. Simply, simply language, that every person a wastage of 50 kg food per day. India in the index at the second position, followed by the China. One by third of all the food products in India gets wasted or spoiled before it even used. Now, what is the government took steps to prevent the food wastage? The Food Safety and Standard Authority of India has launched the Food, Share Joy initiative for the distribution of food and could be potentially wasted. This is the step what is taken by the government, but we are the ones, we have a fundamental rights, or we have a humanitarian rights to save food. So what we can do that for that, uh, every hotel or a restaurant adding a extra bill to a customer if a customer leaves us a morsel, even a morsel in their plate. This could be
Last 30 seconds.
time when people do not thought to waste the food. In a small countries can say, in a small areas we can do a plan, establish a small community in every localities and divided it by area wise, noted the quantity of food wastage and impose a fine on that particular area. And third one is introducing the chapters in the school regarding the
Time
wastage
up.
of food, and order the school to organize the Nikko Natak by the students and poster making competition on the wastage of food. If we take a small this initiative, then definitely we can save our food, our energy. We are the ones, we have to start first to save their food from our home. So let's take a small initiative to save our food. Thank you so much.
Okay, Shweta. Food in our culture also we say Annam Param Brahma. There are many aspects to it that firstly respect food. It is important for our living. Secondly, if you are by chance wasting it or spoiling it, that is also to be prevented. And that is why it is kept like a god. In our traditions, we always worshipped food, especially vegetarian food. We treat it like god. So if that is so, how come we become so careless? We are negligent while eating, while going out and then enjoying. So there are many NGOs also who take initiative, spread the awareness, try and minimize the wastage, try and educate people. But what Shweta was rightly bringing out, right from school education, if our kids are nurtured to really respect food, made them aware that there are many kids, many human beings are not getting food and they are sleeping empty stomach. So that kind of realization, sensation will give more justice to the habits of people who will be really sincere in their approach. But more than that, initially the some of the people were predicting that as the human population will grow up, our food requirement will not be met and we will be short of food. But thanks to technology, which is now enabling us to produce more per hectare or per acre, and that is how we are able to meet our growing needs. Now the population is almost 8 billion in the overall world scenario. I'm saying some of the countries don't produce that much, they require import. Some of the countries like India are producing more, but we have domestic consumption so high that despite being number one in many aspects of production, we are not able to export because our population is more. Secondly, our wastage is also more in our, not only while eating, but even during storage, we are wasting too much. If our go down wastages gets counted, it is huge and it is lost to the nation, lost to all human beings. So, considering all these things, we need a lot of measures at national level, at household level, so that we can prevent wastage of food, because when it is getting wasted, someone is deprived of that food. That should be the analogy, that should be the thought process, and then we will be able to give more justice, because this is critical aspect. Production of food grains and all kinds of eatables is a process, it requires a lot of efforts, and more energy can be invested in preserving the all kinds of food grains in a better way than while preparing during our day-to-day routines. Can we manage it well, can we discuss it well? Okay, before preparing itself, if the uh, home gets into, all the people gets into a culture that generally some of the houses do that, who is having how much hunger, and accordingly the food is prepared, and it is not that generalized daily it is getting wasted. Some of the homes are not able to manage it, but mostly the middle class poor people, they are very particular, they don't waste much. It is only the people who are careless at the uh, generally the rich people who are little careless, they are not bothered. In restaurants also, the new culture should come in, where the food is not wasted, not ordered much. Even the hotel managements now should get into the real ethical business, that if some people are wasting it, let's develop a culture of sensitizing them that you have done a bad thing, and then some NGO type, can it be donated there, some kind of things. The list is endless for innovative ideas, and your generation can take a lot of initiatives in that. Some of the countries are doing good in that, some of the NGOs are doing good. A lot of places there are some food corners where surplus food is kept, and a lot of people who are not having food come there in the hope of getting food. So packets are kept there, like I think some kind of like ATM is there where money is there. So food corners are there where people bring their food which is surplus in the home and keep it in packets, and anybody who can take that food or require that food comes there in the hope and gets that food. This is also one open platform where a person who donates food and a person gets it, may not be knowing each other, but the purpose is solved. Many issues can be discussed in it, but overall our national cause is there. We should save food, our population is growing, we require more measures on it. Okay, Shweta, good, very important topic. Who is there now, Sanjeevani? Okay,
Yes,
Shweta,
sir.
keep time.
Can I start, Shweta?
Yeah, you can start now.
Good morning to everyone. Today, my lecture topic is knowledge is a power. Knowledge brings wisdom along with modesty and humanity. It was become of the learned man in the past spend their lives in pursuit of knowledge. We find even today people studying hard to qualify in various competitive exams to become a IS or IPS officer. The new era, especially in the field of information and technology, in an area of idea and knowledge for their the great premium on both. We therefore find people who exclusive knowledge and technology. In the highly competitive world of today, we have to update our knowledge on various aspects regularly. People who do not do so get obsolete and cannot grow and prosper. Knowledge comes from extensive reading and books for newspaper and magazines. We all have heard of a legendary Birbal. Birbal the learn in Akbar Darbar, who render sound and practical advice to the empire. The rules also had Rajputs and Purohits advise them on the religion and often policy matter in the states. All those peoples were able to worried phenomena of power become in the because of sound knowledge they have their subjects. The government also utilize the service of people who specialize knowledge uh, for the administration of the state. We have a judge in the judiciary to interrupt the law and to ensure to assure justice for the common man. All those men are knowledgeable. Knowledge helps you. So lastly, I want to conclude that knowledge helps you to take a new information. The first stage in which factual knowledge give you a thought in when you are taking a new information, whether by listening or reading. Also, knowledge help you to take a new information and
30 seconds
uh,
are left.
understanding yourself. Knowledge make you easy to solve the problems. Also, knowledge improve thinking, and also it is a key of a success. Thank you.
Okay, Sanjivani, today it has come average delivery of lecturate. Knowledge is power, very simple topic, but vast. From any angle, you can give examples, you can speak on it, and at the bottom line, when we are student or throughout life we are student, uh, if you take it in correct perspective, in fact, knowledge gives us energy, knowledge gives us hope, knowledge empowers us, knowledge gives positivity, and if someone is really hungry for knowledge, gets pushed hard and develops the habit of moving ahead, that person is never stagnant, never feels like uh, time pass is going on or something like that. So this is the enormous power in that knowledge. So knowledge seeking should not stop. The nature of knowledge gaining will change. Today academic knowledge in student days, that is your stage, but once you finish your basic academic education, then it is professional knowledge, then it is social oriented knowledge, family related knowledge, some of the national interest knowledge, and how you can make the society better through your knowledge plus experience. This is the real uh, expectation from good human beings. So knowledge in today's especially democratic society should be seen in the initial stage as academic knowledge, which will give us chance to appear in exams, clear the exams, get into the position of respect through that process. And once you reach to the position of respect authority, then you can deliver more, you gain more knowledge. See, it is opportunities creation. When through the knowledge process you get into the position, where you have honor and respect, you have authority, whatever position. It may be a class 2, class 1, even class 3, class 4 post in the hierarchy of government scenario. Everyone is capable of giving something back through the position of that chair. Everyone can contribute positively, and in that particular authority, the knowledge seeking should not stop. The knowledge has no dimension actually in which direction you're talking. So only different stages of life you will have different perspective of knowledge gaining. Today, if in my position I feel I am too small in terms of knowledge, and that is the feeling now one gets. But in your stage, when I was there, I used to feel this should finish first. This academic journey should finish fast, and then we will be happy, we will be free. In fact, that is a childish feeling. Getting free of this responsibility of knowledge. That is a childish feeling. It happens with most of us. But once you get into the position of some respectable chair and you start delivering into the society, you feel that this is the real journey. If someone is sleeping and just uh, passing the time, that person, if he is sleeping or she is sleeping, then there is no way one can help. But if you are really awake, you are in the search of knowledge. That is the level, I must say. The knowledge has got importance in our life. If we are lively, we are really enjoying our life, that is the real journey revolves around the knowledge of different nature and delivering it. Knowledge gaining is one process. It has to be completed with your knowledge. What you are doing, that knowledge has to be imparted in terms of actions, in terms of some passing on valuable things. Okay, good. Sanjeevani tried your best, but this is not the threshold. You have to go beyond that. Jumbling of words or jumbling of some delivery of sentences, that can be avoided with more focus. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shweta, where were you lost? You took a lot of time to say yes.
Sir, actually, my phone was in charge, and taking the phone and
Okay,
on
okay.
the phone.
I thought you are lost after delivering that lecturate. You are still thinking something. Okay. Who
No,
is
no,
there?
sir.
Harshwardhan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sanjeevani, keep time.
You can start.
Good morning, everyone. Today's topic of my lecture it is India's foreign policy. If we talk about the evolution of India's foreign policy, from the independence, the policy was more dependent on the idealistic ideas under Jawaharlal, then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, who was also is also known as the father of Indian foreign policy. But after the 1962 Indo-China War, our policy shifted towards more realistic ideas over idealistic ideas. If we talk about some silent features of India's foreign policy, India's one aspect is that of India First policy, which says that the national interest of India will always be first and will always be paramount over any other conflict or any need. With one fifth of the population of the world, India has the right to have its own weight of its own interest. One another aspect is that maintaining balance of power to its advantage. We have seen that India is the only superpower which challenges China's Belt and Road Initiative, and also responds to the Chinese military aggression with a strong military pushback. But also, US also, if we talk about relation with US, we also have various domestic capacities to be built with the help of US, but we are not in a complete formal alliance with US. If we also India also has been seen in multi-aligned approach, like India is involved in various groups, be it Quad, BRICS, G20, or anything. Even India believes in the policy of intervention over interference. which means that India does not believe in interfering in internal affairs of any other countries. But if the those internal affairs are affecting India's national interest, then India does not hesitate to take a quick and timely intervention. Even there are various moral aspects of India's foreign policy, like we have the example of the Panchashil Treaty, uh, which for which is formally in the agreement in trade between Tibet region and China and India. And also, India believes in the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means the world is one family. Apart from this, India also focuses on global problem solving approach. Lastly, concluding my lecturate, I would like to say that India's foreign policy is one of the best foreign policy across the world and has been appreciated by the West. But there are right now various challenges which India's foreign policy is facing. Like the we have current example of the Qatar where 9 ex-Navy personnel have given death sentence. So over here, India's foreign policy will always have a great role. Thank you.
Okay, Harshvardhan, very good content and good delivery, except conclusion could have been much better. Okay, India's foreign policy is really fascinating journey per se. We got independence, very diverse nation, and then we had some mindset, and from that the origin of our foreign policy came, that is of non-alignment. But as the world was evolving, it was initially bipolar, where Russia and US were there as two poles and power centers. From there, the Russian or the USSR collapsed, and then unipolar for some time, maybe 1991 onwards, a little bit US dominance till 2016 or so. That was unipolar, and now of late, last 7 8 years, we are reaching to a stage where it is a multipolar scenario. And with this changing and dynamic scenario, every country's foreign policy changes, and we also evolved. It is not easy actually when we have business interests, technical uh, requirements, a lot of imports and exports scenario. Initially we were dependent on oil. Middle East was our compulsion. We could not, even if we wanted to have Israel as a friend, but we could not openly say it. We did not open embassy, it was just consulate in the Israel, or Israel's consulate in India. So these are the compulsions. Then in this dynamic scenario, we have to protect our national interest, and we have to build the relationships, seeing the future plans. Maybe we are a very docile country, like most of our people are. We don't trouble others because our behavior will change as per the people's behavior. Similarly, in the international scenario, we may be having good intent. For example, to understand with Nepal, with Sri Lanka, with Bangladesh, with Myanmar, uh, for that matter, Bhutan, we assumed natural because relationship, because we are neighbors. Geographic boundaries are just with us. So we never thought of that shrewd policy. And China, on the other hand, was having some evil designs. And through such kind of environment, we are also compelled now to think more on a professional front, develop relationships from future perspective. We should not have, because we cannot change our neighbors, the geographic neighbors. We may have a relationship uh, till thousands of kilometers, but your immediate neighbors are very important. We took it lightly. Natural relationships will not prevail. We have to have deliberate establishments of relationship. There should not be any other country who is spoiling our relationship. These are simple things probably we ignored, and that is how with Sri Lanka, with Nepal, with Bangladesh, we took it little lightly with Myanmar. And these smaller countries could have been under the umbrella of our big brothership, but now we are trying to just organize it well. What Harshvardhan was quoting about Qatar now. Qatar traditionally is our friend. This issue is little different because these are 9 people, ex-naval personals involved. Case is quite complicated. Just to make you a little bit aware, suppose some people have gone for job to a company and company is detected as anti-national, or it is found in the activities which are against the interest of the nation, of that nation. So Qatar government found it suspicious. Now the employee did not know this company is doing something of that nature. They were sincere employees. Now how come now India can solve this problem? Because it was between individuals as an employee, a company who was an employer, and working in other. So many people are working abroad, so it is difficult to monitor who is working where. So this is just a very very small issue, but now it becomes little sensational because ex defense personnel getting death sentence, and now can Indian government save them? Yes, in all probability Indian government will try and use or pull all strings of uh, diplomatic negotiations, but then it is not to be seen from that prism of honor and respect and all those things. It can be little um mellowed down. It should not be so intense. After all, it is something related to a basic issue. They were doing job. The company was fraudulent. It had involvement of Israel, US, Italy, and then on the other side about the company, which was naval related, naval productions and all those things. So these all naval people were, because of their professional experience, were working for the company, and company had bad intentions. They were challenging the China's, UAE's, maybe Saudi Arabia, Iran, all those countries on other side, and Israel and US, and then Italy, where the designs and all were made, and company suddenly getting vanished. Company's owner or CEO is already in jail. So all those things happening, we cannot now apply the formula of honor of the country and all those things. Practically, we have to see how we can actually save our people, but it cannot be straightway labeled as that Indian government failed or so. If I go in other country and I kill someone, it is easy to understand that I killed someone. But this is difficult to understand that some people were found working in a company. They may be innocent. They were not aware. But that is the sad truth, that they were innocent, but now as much as help can be provided, it will be done, and maybe 99% they will be saved also through our strong diplomatic relation. But this background nobody discusses. Okay, Harshvardhan, good. Content was very good, and delivery is also good of lecturate. Confidence is good. Conclusion can be more systematic, not in a hurried way. So before 30 seconds only, you can just develop that habit of making it more smart. Introduction and the end. All of you should make it habit of planning it well and delivering it. Make it as a habit that you are comfortable in the opening and in the end. In between the content, if it is good, you get more confidence. So develop that habit, feel about it, listen to your own audio, that how exactly you are talking, because you are best judge what was going into your mind when you spoke and what was the exact scenario, and as fresh as possible, because immediately you remember that what was going in my mind, what I thought and what I delivered. These are comparisons will help you in growing much better. Very good. Akash is there.
Yes, sir.
You want to
Good
speak?
morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Jai
Yes,
Hind.
sir. I'm James.
Okay, Harshvardhan, keep time.
Yes, sir. You may start.
Good morning, everyone. My today's lecture topic is child labor in India. So, child labor is the employment of children in any work that deprives them with their childhood and interferes with their ability to attend regular schools. Child labor is a global problem and it is a prevalent issue in our country, India too. So, because of child labor, children are forced to face the harsh reality of the country or the harsh reality of this world at a younger age. And due to this, the overall development of that child is hampered. And because of this, the overall development of the country is hampered in the near future as well. So, what are the causes of child labor? If you look at the causes are poverty, overpopulation, migration, and the lack of quality education. If you look at all these causes, the main common thing is the lack of money. If a family does not have money, because of which they cannot afford their basic requirements like food, health, shelter, and then the education, so the family does not have any other option than to send their children into work so that they could add as a supplementary to the source of income. Then because of migration we know that the breadwinner of the family does not have any work, or he loses his job, and so he has to send his child to work so that he can add to his source of income. Then lack of education, we know that if we provide education to a children, and because of this, maybe child labor cannot be stopped immediately, but that child would not force his children to send to go into work and earn some money for his family. So we can so because of this, these are the causes of child labor. And if you look at the negative effects of child labor, the negative effects are the physical health issues. If a children has to attend, or if a child has to operate a machinery which is supposed to be operated by an adult, then he may have serious health issues. Then mental issues may be there, because if you see that if a child is forced to work for 8 to 9 hours, which is not supposed to be done by him, the stress level on that child would increase automatically, and so there would be mental as well as moral issues on that child. Then a lack of education, if we force children into labor, then they are not able to attend regular schools, and so they are forced to remain as a labor for the entire life, and so that they do not acquire any skills on the basis of which they can work for the rest of their life. So, how can we reduce child labor, or how can we overcome this child labor? Firstly, government can play an important role. The government policies like government Child Labor Act, which was
Last 30
implemented in
seconds.
1986, it can help to reduce child labor. Then Mines Act, then Factory Act. Then, secondly, by spreading awareness among the parents, in this panchayats can help a lot, because if the parents are made aware of the negative effects, they may not send their children into work. So, in the end, I would like to conclude by saying that child labor not only hampers the development of that child, but also the development of the country. And so, I would like to say that children belong in the school, not in the workplace. Thank you.
Uh,
Important topic. Uh, it has got social concern, national concern, and the future of the country, that is child. Akash, you are preparing for now which SSB?
No, sir. I'm right now. I'm preparing for the written exams, CDS and AFCAT.
Okay,
So, yes, sir.
okay, okay, good. Good. Your delivery of lecturate is also confidence is seen, acceptable zone of delivery of lecturate. Content is good, and more can be improved. This topic, child labor, such topics will be there in your lecturate card: social, political, technology, international relations. It is up to you where you feel confident. So none of the topic during your practices should be taken lightly. And on that particular day, when you get lecturate card in your hand, all four are important topics. You have to judge which one is important for you, where you can have more content, more confidence, and should get that feeling that this is the best I can speak on, and go with that. Never judge the level of topic. All are at par. Always think from that angle. So this is a simple topic, but through such topic also you can make impact in the SSB. How you are showing concern for nation, society. Children are the future of the country. If a nation after 75 years is not able to take care of their kids, if they are deprived of education, we have right to education policy, but is it on paper? What is happening on ground? India is a diverse country. What about tribal areas? What all measures we have taken? Then from tribal areas, are they reaching to the schools? What about girls? After ninth or 10th, they were skipping the education because of the lack of toilet facility. Then came the compulsory toilets in the school. Then from the remote areas, are we taking the schools to their doorsteps? Because if a village is there, the next school is 15 kilometer away. Can every kid afford and go there? Can that kid have motivation to reach to the school? So all those issues in last 75 years we have addressed. We are making sure that a kid at least till 14 years of age, 15 years of age should be in the school, not in the job. But how Akash was saying that money, the family, if it is not planning well and having more kids or not having the wherewithal to survive, so they employ their kids also, whether it is in farm, if it is a farmless family, whether it is in cheap labor. This is the concern, because we cannot blame that family. They have to survive because basic needs has to be made. So government is doing a lot of things. But if there is a gap, communication gap between the government policies and government machineries and to the person who is on ground, so who will plug that gap? There are enough mechanisms. We have got now strong the structure of democracy till gram panchayat level, but the people who are working on ground, their sincerity is important. We have enough schools in remote area. Are the teachers are also taking interest? Some of the teachers are taking, some of them are taking it as a duty. They are not reaching out extra step. Gram panchayats, are they really making the survey whether the entire area of jurisdiction in their um, charter of duties, are they really surveying it well? Are they leaving no stone unturned in finding out if there is any kid who is not reaching out to school, whether it is a boy or girl? So this sincerity is now the area where we are lacking, and that is how even today, after 75 years, we are becoming a strong nation. In metros, the scenario is different. In the semi-urban and urban areas, the scenario is different. You go to rural, especially the tribal area, things are still not acceptable. We have cheap labor in the form of kids, small child. Even it is now put it into the crime category, but still there is some concern, some improvement is required. So we as a nation need to work upon that. But then the awareness, today technology is there, we are reaching out. Mobile phones and tvs have reached every corner of the nation. This is a much improved scenario. People are getting aware. Accounts are there. If some kid wants to study, scholarships are there, education loans are there, even primary education until 12th, if someone is studying and kid is willing to study further, enough schemes are there. So all those things clubbed together, we are as a nation going in the correct direction. But child labor, is it finished? No, 100% we cannot say, because there are some areas where we see children who are supposed to be in school or doing some education are doing the labor duties not in that particular acceptable age bracket. That is a concern. Okay, good, Akash. Be regular so that you get more practice and practice of different topics.
Yes, sir.
See, there may be a student who feels that I can speak good English, I have confidence, I have no problem in speaking. That is just one part. Second part is content. Unless and until you speak on variety of topic, today if you see our topics vary. If there are 4 or 5 students speak, the nature of topics are different. You hear other topics, you get at least 1%, 2% knowledge, and some points will definitely will go into back of mind. It will get registered knowingly or unknowingly, and it will build up your database in your mind. And you also, by regular practice, select different topics and develop the confidence in different areas to speak. This is how one has to be mature enough to understand this is a competitive exam. You never know what kind of topics will come in your SSB or in interview. You have to speak many things, group discussion, and in general, when you land in SSB, your general impression in your group when you are off the exam scenario, when you interact with other students, if you are a knowledgeable person, will definitely attract others, will make impression in your group, and that impression in the evening hours will reflect in the next day during the test scenario. People will, first day you make friendships, slowly you build up rapport, and the person who is more knowledgeable will make more impact and will gain more confidence of others. This is how during the command task people will call you, and these all small small things are important. Okay, I think now we can finish. We'll call it a day. Take care, be happy, do exercises, develop that happy scenario, positive mind in your day to day activities. Keep yourself busy. That is one of the biggest solution to be happy. Okay, bye. Jai Hind.
There is a